the mud. I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. I am your host for the evening, Shelton P. Walker. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a phenomenal weekend. It was a bachelor party weekend for the boys. That's why the stash is in session. A lot went down. Obviously, the Colorado had their spring game. And then today, Sunday night, mayhem has broken loose. Jujuan Johnson, the Colorado Buffs' #1 commit 4-star athlete, has decommitted from Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffs, along with Montana Lamonius Craig, their wide receiver. He has entered into the transfer portal. It's mayhem right now in Colorado, and we've got to talk all about it. We've got to talk about the possibilities of where Jujuan Johnson's going to go. Some exciting stuff there for us Gator fans. We're going to break into that. Then we'll obviously get into Montana and him departing. And then the Florida, they had some guys leave this weekend as well, which we're going to get into. But boys and girls, welcome to the stream. Godspeed, my boy. How we doing, Wes? Chris totally pissed me. Boy, what's going on, boys? Good to see you. Glad to have you guys here. Over 100 people in the chat, and we're already 2 minutes in, so make sure you guys drop a like, show some love. We're almost at 14,000 subs. Mean the world to me. If you guys show some love, drop a like and subscribe. Helps us out. Let us know we're doing a great job. But first thing first, Jujuan Johnson, 4-star athlete, has decommitted from Colorado. Now, this is a very interesting development. Okay, a couple things here we've got to go over, because just the other day, I posted a video, probably like a week or two ago, about Jujuan Johnson possibly flipping back to Florida. Not back to Florida, but flipping to Florida. If we remember correctly, when he committed to Colorado about 2 months ago, I believe, he had a top three. It was Colorado, LSU, and Florida. Florida was heavy on Jujuan Johnson. Florida has not slept on Jujuan Johnson since he has committed to Colorado. They have been vocal about it. He's even mentioned that, yep, they haven't left me alone. They've loved me since the beginning. They've shown me nothing but love. And I'd imagine Louisiana, being a hometown kid, they probably showed the same kind of energy towards him as well. Again, you got two big Power 5 SEC conferences coming at you heavily versus, again, a newfound respect for Colorado and Pac-12, but you really can't say Colorado holds up to the same standard as LSU and Florida just yet. They're working on that. They're building that, but they're not there yet, right? So, again, when he committed to Colorado, it was massive, huge for Coach Prime, right? It was. I even said, look, that's massive. That's your first commit of the year. 2024 was starting off hot and heavy for Colorado because of this commit. Now, with this decommit, does it mean that he's gone and he's not going to commit to Colorado? No. He said that he's considering in his little speech or in his decommitment letter, said he's still highly considering Colorado. They're still high on his list. But typically when we see something like this happen, it's rare that we see them stay with Colorado. Because, again, he can still do visits. And now with this new rule with official visits being unlimited, right? Some people say that, hey, well, that's a factor. He can still go visit even if he's committed, right? So maybe by him announcing it, he's trying to see if it's kind of, hey, I'm open for business again. It's like changing your Facebook status from in a relationship to single. So you might get some more DMs. That could be a possibility because maybe things were gone quiet. Because just 3 or 4 days ago, I could be off on the timeline there, but let's say within the last week, when the noise of him possibly decommitting, right, he tweeted out, I'm 1,000% committed to Colorado. Now, that tweet is no longer there, but I remember seeing that go, okay, well, maybe all the noise of him possibly flipping to Florida has now died. Well, the noise is back, okay? Because this is massive. This is absolutely huge for him to decommit. Now, there's going to be a lot that comes out from here, and I want to get into this because it's been very interesting, just obviously being a Florida fan, the negativity coming from the Florida spring game, the negativity coming out of Alabama spring game. There's always going to be your pros and cons, pushing and shoving on who did what. I watched a little bit of highlights from the Colorado game. I was out on the boat fishing, so I didn't get to watch the game fully, but I did watch some highlights, and then I wanted to go see what other people had to say. When I was doing that, I realized it's a very biased, more than usual opinion, because you have the people that are looking at it of, we want Deion to fail, so they're not going to look at it in a positive light. And then you have the others who are wanting him to be successful and want nothing negative to say. So they're going to find all the positives, as you would. This isn't a knock to either side. And that's kind of the joke of a spring game, because you're going to look at it how you want to look at it. But with the two big departures here, with Jujuan Johnson and Montana Craig, it's a little interesting, okay? Why all the sudden exodus, okay? Within the last 24 hours, what's happened that made them change their mind, okay? Well, they had a spring game, number one. Number two, and I know this isn't, I've mentioned this before, but it was freezing balls in Colorado on Saturday. They had to clear the snow off. Maybe reality set in, like, yo, it's cold here. Look, that's a long shot, but that was their first impression of what it's going to be like on game day for both the kids that have decommitted / entered into the transfer portal from Colorado. With Jujuan Johnson leaving like he is at this time, I don't see him committing back to Colorado. I could be wrong, but my feeling is that LSU and Florida are heavily pursuing him, and I think they raised the bell on that. So, look, here's the other pro of this too, okay? Maybe this was a long-term play all along. And we've talked about this with Coach Prime, what he's doing. There's a Coach Prime effect that's positive, right? And you should expect kids to take advantage of that. Him committing, I even said it when he committed to Colorado, everyone had eyes on Jujuan Johnson if he was going to be the first kid to commit to Colorado. Massive. Now he's the first kid to decommit from Colorado. So once again, we're all talking about Jujuan Johnson. Now, I'm not saying this guy's playing the media by any stretch, but the guy's doing a great job. We keep talking about this kid, Jujuan Johnson. I think he's ranked like 180th in the country, 236 nationally, and we're talking about him like he's the number one recruit. Well, like we're Kamani McClain almost, right? Because he's breaking news left and right. So we will see. Look, I know Colorado fans are going to be unhappy about this. I'm sure like the new Colorado fans that have arrived, they're going to spin it in a way that makes them sound good. But as a Gator fan, I'm excited for this because, again, they've been heavily going after Jujuan Johnson. Again, LSU concerns me a little bit, being a hometown kid. I could see LSU making a strong, heavy run. But somebody like, again, his position as an athlete, so you can kind of use him anywhere, just depending cornerback, I think is kind of what they're pushing for. But 19th ranked athlete, 8th from Louisiana, 5'11", 178. So, again, big, massive stuff here. And like I said, this also stacks up with the wide receiver who just had a massive game on the spring game. And I'm going to go back to what I was saying, too, about utilizing Coach Prime effect, the Deion effect, right? We keep talking about it in the positive, but there's a negative side of this, too, for Colorado. And I'm going to get into that here shortly. So, Montana Craig, wide receiver, just hit the transfer portal about an hour ago, okay? And I want to play a clip for you before we go any further. This is a clip from Shedeur Sanders on his Instagram Live. I think it couldn't have been too long ago because this all just happened. And I'm not going to show, but you're going to hear what he has to say. So just take a listen and take it all in.
I just see somebody in transfer portal, man. I'm just saying, people got their own crooked ways about themselves, bro, But I can only control me, man. Hey, man. Montana Lamonius Craig. Somebody said MLC, man. MLC and TP right now, man. But I'm just saying that's foul though. I'm not gonna delete that picture. I should delete now.
So very interesting situation here with Shedeur there. kind of, look, he's frustrated, obviously. He's upset, kind of shocked because he threw to him 3 times, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Randy Moss type game. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was a spring game, obviously, but big-time stuff there. Big-time words there from the quarterback. Everyone seems to be pretty surprised. What I was referring to about utilizing the Deion effect. All eyes were on that game. ESPN, 40,000 plus, sellout crowd, ton of noise. He goes out there and balls out. Balls out. Nobody knows who Montana Craig is before that game. But now he goes and balls out. There's an opportunity for me to go, maybe cash in on my stock while it's high. Right? So, again, very interesting. I don't know the depth chart that well in Colorado to say, hey, was he the number one guy? And you have to expect attrition. That's part of it, especially with the New York first head year coach. Coach Prime's been very, very adamant about going into the portal. So, negative, positive. There's people are going to spin it the way they want to spin it, however it fits their narrative. I'm almost exhausted to try to go into that direction because you can spin it either way. You really can. It's, hey, he wasn't going to fit into the culture anyways. No big deal. You can look at it, well, hey, he saw that offense looked pretty small because I went and watched that film, and unfortunately, didn't look the best. It looked tiny. Now, it is a spring game. No need to panic. I think it was more about having the show and the energy and the environment more so than it was putting on a show. But look, these kids are starting to utilize what everybody's saying, the Deion effect, into their advantage. And I think we should expect this. Is it a negative thing? No, that's just part of it. Here's the flip side. There's 2 sides to this for the Colorado fans that are sitting here getting probably frustrated, think I'm hating on them. I'm not. Colorado's still in the news. Okay? And so even though it's bad news, news is still news. You're still in the front of everything. And people are still talking about you. But this is the first big blow to Colorado and the Buffs, and it is an interesting take. We'll see how Coach Prime handles it. They haven't really had any negative light just yet, and this is early. So, look, sometimes it's good to get it out of the way. No big deal. But we'll see how it bounces back. It's going to be an interesting development. We'll definitely be keeping tabs on it, staying with it. But let me know in the comments what you guys feel, what your thoughts on it. I'm sure, again, there's going to be so many, just 2 big sides to this. It's going to be a very interesting to keep an eye on and see where these kids end up going as well, too. Big stuff there. How are you guys doing in the chat? Yeah, so look, guys, for Florida stuff, we had a big weekend as well, too. Losing Xavier Henderson, wide receiver. I do want to talk about that, so we'll dive into that a little bit. Hendo. So with Xavier, here's how I look at it. And again, I'm going to kind of take a look at this as a glass half full as much as I can. This one sucks. There's no way around it, right? You really can't try to spin it, but I'm going to as best I can. What sucks about it is, again, it's the depth situation. And even connecting to Colorado, it is tough right now to keep depth on. And if Hendo at any point felt that, hey, my job is in jeopardy, these young guys are going to come in and maybe by game 6, 7, I'm going to be fighting for a starting role. And this offense doesn't really look as high up octane as I need it to be for me to have success to go on to that next step because it's going to be run heavy for this first year while it's transitioning, then I have to go with it and do what's best for me. And I think we have to understand that, and that's why that transfer portal is beneficial for these kids because now you can take the advantage, right, of what's happening and go capitalize on that. Again, it sucks for Florida because we're losing a great wide receiver, we're losing depth, but these kids got to take care of themselves. They got to eat. Look, we'll be able to kind of get an understanding, a better idea, right, of what happened, what happened with the situation, on where he goes. If he goes and he goes to like let's say a Texas or a Michigan, Ohio State, right? Then I'm like, dang, we lost a dog because a big time school went out and got him, and he's going to be a starter there because he doesn't go to Ohio State just to be in second, right? He's going to go somewhere he can play with limited time left. So I'd imagine you go to a little bit of a smaller school, but the positive thing for me is I feel like, again, he's probably looking of, the positive side is he feels the heat, right? But honestly, I think it's more so the offense probably doesn't look as high octane as he would like it to be, right? Not getting as many looks as he would like. And again, he's got to look out what's best for him. So he's got to take advantage of it while he can. And that's just part of it. Again, and this is going to be that new world. And here's the other negative part. Because of Florida and where they're at in the situation that they're in with lack of depth, with lack of recruiting over the last few years, this stings a lot more. I mean, because look at Georgia. They're losing guys left and right, but because they have this thought of there's this 5-star after 5-star, nobody really bats an eye, right? Because they're in the positive light and they're coming off back-to-back national championships. But you've got schools like Miami, Florida, Colorado. One person moves, it may make sense, but because of the situation that it's currently in, it just feels a lot heavier than what it would. Same thing with Powell. A big loss on the D-line there. I think the D-line is definitely getting healthier, looking thicker. But again, there's always reasons there, right? And I know we had a Mazuka who tweeted out, who's, I'm going into the portal. And we heard Billy fought for him to bring him back in. These two, I'd imagine there was a conversation on whether or not to save them or not save them. There could be a point where Billy's like, hey, this isn't going to work out. We don't know, right? We really don't know. And we're never going to know, to be honest with you. I think the biggest answer to us, like Bear going from Georgia to USC, that to me, in my opinion, is a loss for Georgia. And how I gauge that is like he just went from a dominant Power 5 school to another dominant, possibly going to make a championship run school. So USC saw something. Now, USC's defense is pretty slim. So he's pretty, it's not like he's going to Alabama, which he couldn't. But again, he's still going to a big-time school. So, hey, we could utilize this guy's got some legs left. If the two guys that leave us go and end up going to like a Boston College or, a smaller school, then that speaks like, okay, well, they don't have the, they're not going out there getting a lot of juice anyways. So, again, an interesting weekend, a busy weekend. I think these are always going to be expected, especially with the transfer portal and this being its first, run through. And but look, it's got to be how it works. The transfer portal is a good thing, okay? And so with the transfer portal, how we get excited, who we going after, who we going to get. There's going to be guys on our side that are looking to leave as well too. So next man up. It is what it is, but USC will become unbearable. That was, Roger Dodger? Great name and great sentence. I mean, that was a phenomenal little combo there. I really love that energy. That was pretty solid. Hey, 2:30 in the chat here on a Sunday night. Make sure you guys show some love. Drop a like. Subscribe. We're almost to 14,000 subs. So that'd be great if you guys can show some love and support the show. Much appreciated. But yeah, Papa Stokes, he says depth will be difficult to build moving forward, and it absolutely will be. It's going to be tough, and I think that's where we have to adjust. And again, because of the lack of depth that Florida has, anybody leaving hurts a lot more than when Georgia loses somebody. We kind of just go, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. They've got plenty of studs, right? Somebody leaves in Georgia, Alabama, the narrative is, well, they couldn't cut it, right? And no matter how great they are, how great they were coming out of high school, they couldn't cut it because that's the narrative. And look, that's what the culture that Saban and Kirby have built. Somebody leaves Miami or somebody leaves Florida, it's a dumpster fire. Shit's going to hell. And that's just kind of where we're at right now because of the narrative. Even Van Dyke, rumors about him leaving Miami are swirling around. So that's going to be interesting to see what he does. Another big one I want to talk about as well, too, while we're here. Again, happy to have you guys here, is there's been some noise. I saw On 3 talk about this today, which was the other day. Malik Murphy from Texas, the quarterback. The question for Malik is, should Malik transfer out of Texas and go to Florida? They went all in. Now, On 3 has been known to troll Florida a little bit. Okay, I think they understand that the fan base of Florida is pretty hungry, and I think they understand the need at quarterback. So anytime there's any type of kind of blood in the water of Florida getting a new quarterback, On 3 definitely takes full advantage of it, and that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like it's news and it's exciting, and that's just kind of where we're at. So they were talking about Malik leaving Texas to go to Florida, and I wanted to really think about that. Is that a possible move? If I'm Malik, do I leave and go to Florida? Let's really break this down, okay? Malik is definitely the shoe-in second guy behind Quinn Ewers. Quinn's number one dude without a shadow of a doubt. Now, Quinn obviously got injured last year, right? And Hudson Card, I believe, stepped in. I can't remember. No, I think Malik did too. I don't remember who stepped in for him, but obviously got some injuries. So could he be injury prone this year? I don't know. But if I'm Malik, I'm looking at a situation. Like I got a situation here in Texas where I'm comfortable. I know the system. Love Sarkisian, right? Great coach. A lot of studs here on campus from a quarterback position for good reason. A lot of studs coming in from Arch recruiting. Another great recruiting class coming in as well. Okay. And so do you stay at that place where you're comfortable, you know the system, knowing that you're one snap away possibly from being the guy, right? One bad snap, one bad game, 2 bad games, and Malik's getting the call, and you just kind of fit right in and you rock and roll. Do you take that chance, or do you go out, chop the market, come to Florida, and where more than likely you're going to be the guy? Now, here's the other interesting part. He could just enter his name into the transfer portal and fish, right? Change his relationship status from, on Facebook from in a relationship to single, so he can get some DMs just to kind of feel the waters out. That is the one good thing about the transfer portal. However, Sarkisian has come out and said, look, if you put your name out there, you're not coming back. I'm not going to allow you to kind of go test the waters and go see what's out there and then come back if you don't like what you see. All right? So that's an interesting one. That's a tough decision for Malik. Now, if he could play both sides, that would be fantastic. I'm sure he would love that, right? That would be best case scenario of, hey, let me go see what's really out there, and, hey, can I guarantee myself a starting job? Because technically, legally, he can't speak with anybody. It's going to be tampering. So Billy can't call him like, hey, man, you're going to be the guy if you come here right now. We'll sign you a 2-year NIL deal, right? And Malik can't enter into the transfer portal conversation and utilize and leverage those talks to come back to Texas. Like, hey, they're offering me this 2-year NIL deal plus the starting job. What do you got? Right? Sarkisian came out and said that. So, look, he's got to hold his cards close to his chest. He's got to keep that line, because if that kid goes out there, he may not get anything at all. And now he's just floating around, and he ruined his chances. So it's definitely a risk. That portal isn't as poppy as we thought it would be. I think we learned that from this past one. I think kids went into the portal thinking like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to be just getting picked up left and right. And some guys didn't get a phone call. And now they're sitting there with their, dick in their hand going, what the hell? I messed up. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think he leaves Texas. I think he's in the best case scenario. It's the same thing with Brock at Georgia. Same situation. You're one snap away from being the guy. Brock is a solid number 2. But, again, do you sit around and think about what if and what could be? I don't know. You give Arch 1 year under that system, Arch could really skip past Malik come next year if Quinn's the guy for sure this year. But it's a lot of talent sitting behind that at Texas. A lot of it just kind of sitting around. So it will be interesting to see. Again, as Florida fans, I know we would love for Malik to make some move. Super chat from Mr. Fanatic says, love you, Papa. Poppy. Me? Love you too, Bubba. Oh, man. Well, man, you guys are in the chats spicy this afternoon. Okay, you guys are... Colorado will win 4 games this season. Let's talk about the Colorado winning 4 games, huh? Colorado. Look, boys, I think we all know I've been pretty heavy on Colorado. I've been pretty positive about them. Spring game didn't look very exciting. It looked like, God, I'm gonna get plastered for this. Looked like a high school game, man. Kids look small. Didn't really look very. Shador looked good. Shador looked like he was slinging the ball. I think we knew what Shador was going to do. But I think there's a lot more missing pieces. The reason why they went 1-11 last year. Okay, a lot of talent. Look, I got blinded. I think I drank the Kool-Aid, right? I got all in on the fact that this Coach Prime Effect is going to come in and knock it out. But we got to realize they've recruited very low for the last decade. Okay, and sure, Coach Prime's brought a lot of guys in. A lot of guys have left as well too. And again, this isn't a knock, but look, I think the hype of winning 5 games, I think Vegas has them at 4. Vegas is usually right, and seeing that spring game made me kind of go, okay, maybe they know what they're talking about a little bit, right? I kind of settled down seeing them on the field for the first time, and there was not just noise, right? You kind of had you finally got to see, some action. I was expecting more, right? I was expecting probably a little bit more. But again, I think sheer size was a big thing for me. That's where they're gonna get caught up. I think Shador will play well. I think he'll keep him in it, but USC is gonna run all over him. Fact. Nebraska, that might be a good game. TCU, I don't think they even match up well with TCU at this point, just based on sheer size alone, right? So look at that. A little love from Mr. Papa Stokes there. Says the High Top family no matter what. Look at all that love. Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate the 20 bones. Just love, baby. Pull up who's schedule, Gator. Papa Stokes bringing it in, baby. DJ said, what? So, yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll see. Again, it's spring, right? Obviously, overreaction as usual. 7 wins for Colorado. Normal guy? Okay, think so. Florida will be elite in 25. I love that, Wes. It's a little bit far away, though. Colorado's going to have a 70% turnover from last year. What the F are you talking about? Talent wins. Buffs aren't near that level yet. Charles Kelly. That's my thing. I think this is the talent on the field isn't what I thought it would be just yet. I think they got some pieces. Definitely got some pieces. But it's... Look, they're going to do a lot of work in the portal this second time through, I think, some more. So... Look, guys, I'm not trying to be negative. I would love for Colorado to do well. I think Coach Prime can and will be a great coach. I just think it's not going to be as fast as I think maybe I was anticipating as well too. But yeah, hey, look, Colorado will be different. Look, guys, you got to calm down. Like you got to be like reasonable here. I'm not roasting. If you've watched this channel, I've been nothing but supportive. I know I'm going to get roasted anyways. This is kind of how this works, but. They looked a little flat. And look, Florida did too in the spring game. So we've already had that conversation as well too. Oh yeah, all the Colorado fans are mad. Send us Xavier Henderson. I know you got connections. I mean, look, that would be a good place for Xavier to end up. You know? Effect statement. Keep the same energy when season comes. It's like you're not even listening to me. I would love for Colorado to beat TCU. I was adamant that they would be successful and do a lot of great things. I'm just a little more reserved after watching the spring game. That's all that I'm saying. Doesn't matter. They're not even going to hear me. Oh, man. Stay tuned. Look, man, I would love to see it. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be cheering for Colorado against TCU. Be cheering for Colorado against Nebraska. I just think that I'm gonna be a little more reserved. I have been heavy thinking that hey, Coach Brown's gonna come in there, knock it out, rock and roll. The team, nothing play call, none of that. It's just sheer size, sheer talent. I think they're still a step behind everybody else, and they did a lot of work. Phenomenal recruiting in 2023. Great guys in the portal, right? A lot of pieces they put together. And I know probably more than likely we didn't see everything. And I understand that too. But just looking at size and things like that, small details, going up against a TCU team that just went to the national championship, a USC team. I didn't have them beating USC anyways. But we'll see. We will see. Let's see. Renegade says, Coach Prime is critically underestimating NIL. Why play for Prime for free when you can get paid to play? That seems like a loaded question. The team is not set yet. By midsummer, the guys will be at Colorado. Look, I understand that as well too. I know there's plenty of time left. I know that's not the final product that we saw on the field. Again, you guys got to understand. It's going to be an overreaction. It's the spring game. It's all you have. Florida dealt with this on Thursday when they went out there and looked flat, okay? You got to understand that when that's all that you have, that's what you're going to get judged by. Bama's getting rolled off their game. That people are saying Bama's done, it's over and done with, blah, 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 blah. Who knows, right? Who knows? I'm just saying based on what I'm looking at, I'm not as excited as I was. But look, time will tell. We'll see. Black uniforms make you look smaller. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was poor uniform choice. Could be it too. Edson says TCU spring game they couldn't even tackle. Look, that's fair. They don't play defense. I saw that in the championship game. So TCU's overrated. Their offense is going to be average at best. Look, I don't disagree. Don't disagree at all. Super chat from Fanatics says, Hoof, watch more football than you. Nice try. Watch every game when Armstrong got hired. Don't ever question my dedication. Which I'll get mad about. Who will be top 3 in the Pac-12? Oh, it's going to be USC, UCLA, and probably Oregon, if I had to guess. Utah. I can't sleep on Utah. Give me Oregon, Utah, and USC. I think UCLA kind of falls back. I think Oregon and Bo Nix, I think they're going to be dialed in. Utah could fall off though too. Cam Rising coming back, but I think he's coming off an injury. Could be tough. Boys and girls, almost 300 people in the chat. Make sure you guys like, subscribe again. We're on the way to 14,000 subs. We're like 5 away, I think it was. Maybe 10 away. So if you guys want to show some love, that we're 9 away. 9 away from 14,000. So I appreciate if you guys would lock and load. Come September 2nd, Colorado will be loaded with studs. Julian, look, man, I love the energy. Love the energy, man. I will love that. Where from, though? Right? The portal closes, I think, in 2 weeks. So you think all of a sudden they're just going to go out there and just load up on the portal? Like, where are they coming from? Like, they're just going to just build kids in a lab? You know? That's what I'm saying. USC, Utah, and Oregon State. That's a good one. It's a good one, I swear, TV. Get the stream to 100 likes, Christian David. Hell yeah, baby. Appreciate you, man. Let's get there. Andrew Apple. Yeah, shoulder injury for Rising, too. And obviously, he lost his tight end, one of his tight ends. So Utah might have a fallback year. So, look, Oregon State, I know a lot of people are high on Oregon State, for sure. SEC Network has Florida 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC. It's not bad. It's not bad. Good time, Chase says everyone tuned in for just a spring game. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know if you've been here before, Good Time Chaser. I'm pretty big on Prime. I usually get a lot of flack for my love for Prime. I'm just being honest here. That's all. They have everything planned. Trust me. That doesn't answer my question, Julian. Look, they got Papa Stokes says they have 1 week left of the transfer portal, so he better get busy. That's all I'm saying. Because again, they had a lot of leave, which the guys who left, I did a video on who left. Not that big of a deal, right? Look, depth-wise, that is what it is. That's the new world that we live in. But kids aren't feeling prime, and I think we knew that was going to happen. That's part of it. You know, that's I'm okay with that. That's part of it. That's the reason why. Again, it's because it's Coach Prime. It's because it's this situation at hand. Any negative news, everyone's going to vulture on top of it, right, and make it seem worse than what it is. This stuff is normal. That's just how it goes. But again, they went 1-11 last year. We have to remember that. They haven't had a great recruiting class ever, okay? Yes, he went into the portal, transferred a lot of guys over, a lot of great guys who we've made videos about, who we've spoken about, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate onto the field that quickly. And that's also, too, and when I'm saying that quickly, meaning April, right? So, yes, come summertime, come September 2nd, they'll be ready. I don't disagree. Coach Prime was kind of already signing a little bit, too. He goes, hey, it's not all about wins, all about W's, okay? Where it's about winning off the field, too. I think he was already kind of set the tone of, like, we got a long way to go around here. That's okay, right? I think that's the part you guys got to understand. This stuff takes time. It's okay. I would love for a caller to come out and go be 4-0. Another super chat from Fast Fanatic says, F Holly for the FSU booster propaganda I got today. I mean, what a hell of a troll. Hell of a troll for Holly. That's well done there. Renegade says, Colorado doesn't even have a D line. Well, they don't need to play defense in the Pac-12. That's not that big of a deal. Pac-12 is scared, so they want to know what does he have. Mm-hmm. Hoof Hard is a Gator fan. F Fanatics. Hoof's our boy. Look, he gets a little spicy, but who's our dog? Yeah, I look, man. The what's unfortunate is because of the drama behind Coach Prime is you can't have a conversation about it because there is so much love, and then there's so much hate for it. There's love and hate for all the wrong reasons, right? So we can't sit here and have like an actual unbiased conversation and breaking it down of, hey, here's what I saw. Little concern on this, little concern on that. It's almost like, hey, it's immediate defense. Like, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just simply assessing what I saw, and I'm a little nervous. But I know there's still time. But unfortunately, because it is such a diabolical situation, it's very hard to, unfortunately, have a conversation about it without getting roasted or yelled at. Kermani said, y'all kids be goofies about the portal stuff. I mean, he played the game too, bro. You know what I mean? So, Radolfo says, I love Prime. Same. Buff's going to everyone dirty this season. Let's get to 100 likes. We're 21 away from 100 likes. If you guys can show some love, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So a week left in the transfer portal. Got a lot of A lot of blood out there. Grayson McCall for quarterback. He has not entered. So, there's a lot of noise there. I don't think it's going to be as exciting as we think it's going to be. I feel like in my opinion, the transfer portal this entire year has been a very anticlimactic, if you ask me. Very anticlimactic. I think we all created scenarios of what could be what ifs. Hasn't really played out like I think we all wanted it to, For some schools, it probably has, for sure. But we'll see. Fishing football. Good to see you here, man. It's been a while, bub. It has been a while. Well, there goes some likes in there. Your boy Spicy says, Grayson McCall supposedly withdrew his name because of his grades. Yeah, but he's got a week left. So, yeah, Max versus World Media. Yeah, Montana Craig. We talked about him enter the portal after playing the spring game. And that was huge. That was a big one. You go out there, you get 3 catches of 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. The number one guy, everybody saw you. And what I was referring to earlier is, look, wouldn't be opposed to, surprised if he just took advantage of that situation of like, hey, this is going to be the highest my stock's ever going to be. Colorado is a year or 2 out. He's in the program. So Shedeur Sanders even made a video saying, well, dang, like I thought we were close. Like he was a little surprised by it. So Craig saw something, didn't like it, said, I'm out. My stock's the highest it's ever going to be. Who wants me? What does that tell you? I don't know. I really don't, guys. There's a lot to it. I think Shedeur showed a little bit of their side by making that video. If nothing comes out, could be, hey, it wasn't a culture fit. Coach Prime could have asked him to leave. We don't know. We're never going to know. But it looks like he's taking advantage of, him having high stock. Sean, have you heard about Raiola to Georgia? It seems like it's a lock for Raiola, Dillon to Georgia. I think they're trying to play the timeout here. Sun doesn't change the stash from black to blonde in 2 days. I mean, it might. It might. As a USC fan, the TP has been great. And that's why I said a few people it has been great too. I think USC has done a phenomenal job. They're in a better spot where they don't need much, right? But the few pieces they have added have been great. FSU's done a great job. I think as a whole, I was expecting it to be more. Okay? Yes, some teams did capitalize, and they were able to go in. There was a few kind of key pieces that went out, and those guys, those teams like FSU and USC did a great job of capitalizing on those pieces. I do agree with that. It wasn't as big as I thought, though. You guys are fired up here today on a Sunday night. I'm loving it. You guys are awesome. CU will make a lower level bowl game, which is very good. That's incredible. It's a major accomplishment. I couldn't agree more. That would be absolutely massive if they want to go to a bowl game. Just going to a bowl game. Doesn't matter what it is. Why are so many of the young men transferring out of Colorado? Look, I think the volume that transferred out of, I think Coach Prime probably wanted out, to be honest with you. I think we saw the video. I'm bringing Louis. These latest ones, they're interesting development. I don't know. I really don't know. And again, this is where the haters are going to really kind of latch on here and say, I told you so. They don't like what's going on. They don't like all the hype. They feel like it's only the Coach Prime show. That's going to be the narrative. Is that true or not? We really won't know. But look, this is part of it. It's going to be interesting to see how he navigates through all of this. It's going to be fun to watch. But we will see. Yeah, show some love, boys. We need 13 likes to get to 100 likes. Got almost 300 people in here. Show some love, guys. Roger Dodger says, Colorado is turning the roster over. People had to leave. And that's another great point, Roger Dodger. I think we watched this last year with Florida, and Billy Napier came in, didn't make a lot of major moves in his first offseason. I talked about this in a previous cast. Nick Saban, Kirby, they did the same thing. Came in very modest, established themselves, and then come that next year, we saw what happened this year. Mass exodus for Florida. 24 guys enter into the portal. Now, it happened in a different time, so we've now forgotten it because we're all goldfish, right? We have a short-term memory loss, and that's just kind of how the world operates. Coach Prime seems to be doing that a lot sooner. He's not going to wait for an entire season to kick guys out. Nothing wrong with that. this attrition that's happening is expected. You should expect it. A lot of you guys that are watching Colorado football are new to football, which is great. Not hating on you, but I know a lot of people are kind of coming in just because the energy is exciting. So it all feels weird, and it feels like it feels very negative. I would say the only two really negative things would be Jujuan Johnson decommitting. That's no fun, especially him being the lead. He was your leader, your lead recruit for 2024. Really set the tone because at the time Jujuan committed over at Florida and LSU. Big W for Coach Prime. Now he's going to be Coach Prime's first decommit. Not saying that Coach Prime's out of it just yet, but it's not a good time, which sucks too. Because again, you just had your spring game. You got a kid that just left in the transfer portal. Now this, it kind of just seems the way of the land. When it rains, it pours, and that's just kind of the world that we're in right now. So again, we'll see how he manages it. It'll be interesting to watch, but we'll see. We will see. UCF is becoming a legit program. Elijah Allen, I couldn't agree more with you, man. They really are. They're slowly getting it done. My little brothers, they have visited there, and I asked them the other day when they're on the show, like, hey, where would you go? They're right now UCF. They've been heavily, just showing my brother some love. Now, 2026 quarterback, long way away, but he's like, yeah, they're great. I love it there. It's really cool. They're building a brand new facility. Their history, just all the things they were talking about. Their visit they've had there was really good. And again, it's a great campus. It's a massive campus. It's in Orlando. It's a great area. It's fun, right next to the theme parks. Get the Kennedy Space Center. Beach isn't too far away. They got a lot to offer. There's a lot of money there too, and they're starting to spend it the right way. They get a new stadium. The fan base is pretty solid too. The UCF, they're thicker than you think. UCF fans are better than Miami fans. Okay, on any given Saturday, UCF is more bumping than Miami for sure. You guys are bumping in the chat, man. Four away from 100 likes, boys. 4 away from 100 likes. And we're almost at 14,000 subs. We got almost 300 people in the chat. We're 7 away from 14,000. We're not going away till we hit 14,000. I'm making the call now. We got to get 7 subscribers to 14,000. We do this. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm trying to get all your comments in there, guys. If I miss you, I apologize. Just you can say it again. Napier's not getting fired. Fishing football. I don't know who you're talking to, but I agree with you. Fishing. 327 in the chat. What's up, baby? High Price says, let's stop being dumb, people. Follow the money is the main reason other than not getting playing time. All these guys are running for pennies in NIL and missing the big payday of the NFL. That's another good point, Hype, right? Like if Hendo, for example, somebody who's leaving Florida, or Montana leaving Colorado, the NIL opportunities may not be that great right now in Colorado because it is new, right? So take the advantage of you having a big spring game and go get an NIL deal. Go collect some quick cheddar. And you're right. Is that the right move? Nobody knows right now. 18-year-old kid, though, and you have an opportunity to go make $150,000 or $100 or $70,000 playing football for maybe a smaller school or a bigger school, whatever it may be, seems very enticing. And again, Not everybody has that mindset. Or look, some people even realize I'm not going to go to the NFL, so let me go get a quick bag while I can, while the opportunity is there. Nothing wrong with that. Just broke 100 likes at 106. You guys are incredible. I love it. Absolutely love it. Appreciate the support, guys. You guys rock. Maurice is 1-11 again. Easy. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think that's a little much. King says, everybody saw the hot mess of a spring game look like a Pop Warner team out there. That's the thing. That's the thing. I think it looks Silver Clark. Colorado looks like a dance party. Yeah, it's getting rowdy in here now, boys. Prime says no NIL money. Mark Davis says he had a better start. He better start cutting those checks. Those kids are getting tired of seeing the Sander kids prosper. That's something a lot of people talked about too, right? His boys, would they get more love and people get frustrated? We'll see. Gamecocks from Mark Anderson. Gamecocks are on a burner too, boys. Welcome to the stream if you're new here Sunday night. This is awesome, man. Over 300 people in here hanging out. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy. Dogs will repeat. It would be a 3P, wouldn't it? Okay. Franklin says JSU is America's team. The love. Well, I don't know about that. Harrison Sanchez says, I watched the Colorado spring game today. They look like a high school players. They were tiny. Somebody said their jerseys make them look, their black jerseys make them look tiny. I don't know. Franklin says, God is good. I agree. Reedus Hall says Colorado will shock the world. I think they're going to shock the world regardless. I don't know how, which way, but I think they're gonna shock the world. Yeah, guys, we got a quick call for Billy Napier's head, guys. Give some time. JSU looks better than Colorado. Frankly, coming in hot and heavy here. Oh man, I love it. You guys are funny. You pronounce my name right, Maurice Gamble. Look, I'm getting better, boys. Getting better. Well, what a show. I didn't expect it to be this poppy here. We're 4 away from 14,000 subs. Let's go, boys. Show some love. And girls. Appreciate you guys, again, being here tonight, hanging out. All in all, it was a busy weekend. Spring game is past us. Now we can look forward to recruiting. May, June, July on this show will be heavy recruiting talk. Practice, obviously, summer practices will be talked about a little bit. But we've got a week left of the portal. Hopefully we'll get some splashes that we'll get to be able to talk about. That would be very interesting to see. Florida definitely needs to do some work. Colorado needs to definitely do some work. Texas, are they going to lose some guys? Georgia seems to be just kind of moving right along, so I don't see much happening to them. But it's going to be interesting to see how this last week plays out. Again, I feel like just a few months ago, I was saying the same thing about the transfer portal, and hey, the last week's going to get hot and heavy. A lot of things are going to happen, and not much really happened. A lot of guys entered into the portal, never really found out where they went, telling me they went to a smaller school, never made enough noise to be talked about, right? So the next big thing is going to be these big recruits, Dylan Raiola. I think these guys are waiting, to be honest with you. I don't see any more commits happening. Could be wrong here because I see some guys have been committing. I'm talking about big-time recruits, like your top-tier guys, committing until after the portal. I could be wrong, but I feel like they want to let that noise die down. And then again, once that portal closes, recruiting is going to be heavy. And these big top guys, they're going to have to start committing because they've got to start working on the class. Dylan Raiola has to commit shortly. He's got to do it soon. You need a number one quarterback to get into that class. Ryan Wingo, possibly flipping from a heavy crystal ball to Tennessee to Georgia. That would be huge. Be annoying to see Georgia do it again. Georgia already has a phenomenal class in 2024 with a 94 rating, number one overall class by a landslide. And Bama's a little behind right now, surprisingly. Shocked to see it. And look, I'm not saying Bama needs to panic by any stretch of imagination. I think Saban knows what he's doing, but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see how this year is gonna play out, what these teams end up doing. But I think this next week's gonna be a lot of portal talk, a lot of what ifs, where these guys gonna go, who's gonna fill in what, fill in where, and who's gonna come out on top. Right now, I think USC is winning this second cycle of the portal. For as of now, just by landing Bear. He was probably the biggest guy that was out there and now is committed. It'll be interesting to see where the two players from Florida, where they end up going, Colorado, how many more guys are going to enter into the portal from there. We'll see. We will see. Janet says Colorado can't miss what they never had. Good luck to transfers in the next team in an NIL fit. Agreed. Do big pocket boosters prop up most collectives, or does the... You got to finish your sentence, Ivy Mac. Ricky, go make 4 fake accounts. We're 4 away from 14,000 subs. Can you guys believe that? 14,000 subscribers. We've got 300 people in the chat, which is incredible. Over 100 likes, which is incredible. At 11 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, we might have found a new live night. Sunday nights for the boys, you know? I know come football season, we're definitely going to be doing more lives. You got to, right? Away from our Wednesday. There, Daniel, I've been seeing you running your mouth all day. Thanks for the super chat, man. $2. He goes, how about them dogs? Sick them. Oh, good Lord. I hate you, Daniel. I hate you. Great show. Love you, brother. Let's grab a beer, brother. I'm off South Side. What's up, Wes? Not too far from definitely grab a little brewski, man. Whew. Well, again, appreciate you guys' support here. I'm not going to go off until I get to 14,000, so I might have to kind of we're 3 away, boys. 3 away. 3 away. I'll hang out here. Let's get some questions in the chat. What do you guys want to know before we shut it down? Let's have a little community talk. Again, the chat's been firing up tonight. I love it. I love coming in here and having such a great chat to be able to have these conversations and talk football. This is what I love about it. I really do. I appreciate you guys and your energy and having an opinion. I think, look, I love it. And you may not like what I'd say sometimes, but Elson says you would have 30,000 subs if you were a CU channel. Well, I've made a lot of Colorado content. I have. Not as much, but I've made a lot of content. And look, it's possible I could have 13,000. I definitely think they've helped me get to 14,000 for sure. 30,000, I don't know yet. But look, we're a sports channel. We're High Top Sports. We love them all. Glad to have a good time. Trevor Lawrence to the Falcons. What the hell, Clint? Callie Burrow, what's up, baby? Welcome to the stream, man. Daniel is a troll, but he's our troll. I mean, no more beautiful words have ever been said. You know? Carson Beck just threw another interception. This is incredible. The chat is phenomenal. You know, we're 2 away, boys and girls. 2 away. What's good about this right now is, look, Georgia is in the best case scenario. They can lose 19 people to the transfer portal. Carson Beck can throw 5 interceptions. It's really hard to say anything negative about Georgia right now. That's just kind of where they're at. It really is. Florida, somebody farts the wrong way, people are going to take full advantage of it and talk a lot of shit. So it's a weird time, but it's all we have to go off of, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Definitely, I would say probably one of the hottest off seasons we've had in a very long time, though. I really, really do. What's everyone's feelings on this, like the scoring system that we had this year? Was this gone in the past and I just missed it? I mean, typically I don't really focus this heavily on spring games like I did this year, but Miami did it. I saw Colorado was doing it. Like you get like a 3 points for a turnover, and like, you know what I'm talking about? What was everyone's thoughts on that? We like it, love it, don't care, a little too much. What are you thinking? What do you think our chances of landing Colin Simmons? I love it, man. I love it. I'm watching the Whitney Houston movie with Mama Stokes while in the chat. I love that. But that's a good movie, too. Keep grinding, Sheldon. Thank you, Ed. Love you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love and support. We'll see where we're at. We're 1 away from 14,000 subs. I can't believe that we're actually live before hitting a milestone. How cool is that? You know what? Let's do this. This will get us there. That's not right. Let's see here. This isn't saying we're behind, so I can't even do that. It's a little delayed. There it is, boys and girls. 14,000 subs. Woo!
Scared money don't make money, you know?
The difference in size. But they both had a mighty punch.
Let's fucking go! I mean, it's just a...
Let's go, baby. 14,000 subs. What up, boys? Wow. Got that dog in. Woo! Hell yeah, bro. Unbelievable. Unflippin' I can't wait, man. Hi, Gator fans in the chat. It's an Ole Miss fan. It's cool, man. We've hit a lot of milestones on this channel, and I just can't wait to keep rocking and rolling, man. You know, hit 20, 25, 50. It's going to be cool, man. I can't wait, man. I got to keep envisioning it. You know what I mean? Keep pushing for it. Man, 14,000, that's wild, bro. Like, that's just, I can't even, like, comprehend that. It's cool as you look at a Social Blade or these kind of social media sites. It'll show you what you're projected, and it has us projected based on how we've trended. Now, this was a little bit ago. We've kind of slowed down a little bit. At 100,000 by next, like, May or June. If we were to keep the same tempo. We've kind of slowed down a little bit, you know, over the last few months. It's been a slow season. But that's just crazy to comprehend that, look, that's possible to be at 100 next May or June if that same energy kept going. Believe that, man? How crazy would that be? Right? This chat at 100,000 subs. Look at us, huh? Who would have thought? Oh, man. I strive to catch you, but you're gonna be there, big dog. You're grinding, man. I'm loving it. Just keep pushing on it, big dog. Keep pushing on it. Sunday night for the boys. Oh, my. Got that dog in them. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. Any news on the San Diego O-line prospect? I think he was supposed to be visiting. It's in May, I thought. I don't even think he's even been there yet, to be honest with you, boss man. If I remember correctly, I think his yeah, I want to say it was like May 2nd. Let me see. I got to pull it up. Give me a sec. That seems kind of far, doesn't it? May 5th, I think. That's what I just saw. Yeah, May 5th. So he hasn't even visited yet. So maybe the portal's open longer than we think, or maybe the portal's open for a week where you can enter it, but you have time to still sign. Because I think you get to just sign before probably summer classes starts, I would imagine you want to get signed up for. So not much news then if he hasn't even visited yet, right? So, wow, 14,000, boys. How about that? How about that? Unbelievable. You guys rock. Appreciate the love and support, man. Really do. What are you doing for the draft? Rob, you're right. That's this week, isn't it? That's this week. We'll be live. We'll be live, hanging out, doing a little bit of draft party predictions, hanging out, having a good time. I wanted to go to Duval and Jacksonville and do that, but we're not going to be able to do that. So we'll be live. You know what we probably should do? Probably should do a call-in show. I think that's what we'll do. That's why I love doing this, too. You guys always kind of give me ideas, hanging out. Yeah, so guys who are new here, we're going to be doing a live call-in show for the draft, the NFL draft, on Thursday. It's going to be a long one, probably like a 3-4 hour show because we know the draft goes forever. The Jags pick 24th. That's probably going to be till 10 close to midnight. We'll have predictions on where Anthony goes. It's going to be a good time. Papa Stokes, my pick is Anthony goes number 5 to Seattle. I think he said would be a perfect pick. And I couldn't agree more with that. I really could not agree more. I keep saying that Anthony should go to Seattle. I nothing but love for Anthony. I think he's a phenomenal guy, absolute stud of an athlete. I don't feel that he's ready to go to somewhere like Carolina, an Indianapolis, or a Houston, where they are in the need of a franchise quarterback right now. They need a guy to come in there and start building the program. I just don't. Look, I know he believes that. I know the people around him believe that. And I love that, right? But I believe that he needs to sit out for a year and have somebody just really work with him. And I think Coach Pete Carroll is a stud. Love that guy to death. I think he has had some great success with quarterbacks. I think Geno Smith looked pretty damn good last year, in my opinion. You sit behind Geno Smith for a year, who has been nothing but patient, will teach you some great patience in an offense that will allow you to thrive. I mean, Russell Wilson, you can kind of. Anthony obviously is much more of a stud. I think Russell's got a little bit better arm in a sense of accuracy, but yeah, I think he'll do well with him. But we'll see. I don't think that the Panthers or anybody else should take him. He's just not ready yet, in my honest opinion. $2 from Daniel says, "Sean is that dog." Appreciate it, boys. Thank you. Yeah, call-in show. Good. F's Fanatics calling in collab. Let's get it, big guy. Let's do the damn thing. Call in, baby. Bannock gets drafted before AR. Simmer down. Craig only played that much due to Horn being injured. And that's a possibility. Maybe Coach Prime said, hey, you're not going to be the guy you just played today because Horn's out. That's 100% true. Geno went to a Pro Bowl. That's what I'm saying. But he didn't play horribly. Bennett is the most forgettable quarterback in college football history. I mean, he probably will be, but he'll have a statue. So, Bennett doesn't get drafted. That's a hot take, Clint. You really think so? He's getting drafted for sure. Y'all be hating on Bennett a lot, man. I know he's tiny, but dog, he's got 2 natties under him. Take it easy on him, you know what I'm saying? Everybody hates him. He hasn't done well outside of football. 5th round. It's probably reasonable. I'd say 4 for Bennett. 4th round for Bennett. Wow, what a night, guys. I didn't plan on hopping on here and hitting 14,000 subs and having over 200 people in the chat for about an hour now with over 135 likes. You guys rock. You're incredible. I love you. Hey, I don't know if we're going live tomorrow. We have an interview tomorrow with somebody from the Victorious. I don't know if it's going to be live yet. It's at 9 p.m. We'll let you know. I'll be tweeting if it is. So there'll be content coming out over the next few days. A lot of content, obviously. We've been grinding out, putting it out there. Make sure you guys love and show some support on the shorts, trying to get those up and going too. But you guys are always incredible. I know you guys love it and support it, so it means a lot to me that you constantly show up each week and each day. And hope you guys are enjoying the stash, because I know I am. Good things come with a good stash. You know what I mean? But you guys have a great Sunday afternoon. Get some rest. It's going to be a good week. It's draft week. But obviously, we will be live Wednesday at 8:35. And we'll be getting a live Wednesday on Thursday for the call-in show. So we will have a good one. Q Lee, I won $700 last night with Tank Davis. Bro, buddy put Ryan Garcia to the ground with a gut punch. Big punch. Big punch. Addison Book says Gators are not beating Utah next season. Whew. Brutal. Hey, congrats, Sheldon. Great show, brother. Thank you, Wes. I appreciate you. Well, boys and girls, you guys get some rest. All right? Love y'all as always. I appreciate the support. As always, you guys are incredible. Can't thank you guys enough. Get some sleep. Good night. Until next time, I'm Sheldon.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show